from media.com.
Mania.
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 Your name and where you're from?
Okay. My name is Robert Trait. I'm from Mania.com.
Thank you, sir. You guys speak.
Cool.
Yes. I bet you it's going to be something about Jaws.
Yeah. You know, how'd you guess? If you could go back in time and tell yourself, your younger self, one thing in preparation, what would it be in preparation of the shoot?
In preparation,
In preparation for the shoot, you go back in time now. Tell your younger self one thing that they might need to know ahead of time. What would it be?
more time.
What?
More time. We had, from the time they said, find somebody to build the shark, they gave me that responsibility. All the preceding effects houses and the studio effects department said we needed 2 years to build the shark. They gave Bob Matty, the engineer who built it, 5 months, 6 months. And so it was totally unfair. And well, what happened is I worked on the galley sheets before a script, before Steven got on. They sent me the galleys to make some concept sketches to show the studio, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so when they said the studio department said they couldn't do it, they asked me if I can find somebody to do it, which I found Bob Matty, a retired incredible effects guy. So the point is, the book came out, huge success, and they wanted to start the movie right away. Well, okay, that's great. If it's just a talk movie, but we have a problem. We're building the shark. No one's ever done that before. Big animatronic 25-foot thing that's going to go out in the real ocean. And, oh, that's okay, but we want it by May or June. Well, it was real hard. And it wasn't quite ready. And we needed more test time. So if I could go back with all this knowledge and had some kind of power, I would say give us the same time we had on Close Encounters, a year before shooting, or on Jaws 2, or whatever, you know. Then we would have everything ready. It would be tested. Do you want this shark? Boom, it would work. But poor Bob and his crew, you know, they didn't have the time.
You're one of the men responsible for bringing a nightmare to life in the shark. Was there any reoccurring nightmare that you had after the film was over about the production?
No, it all ended up a very pleasant thing. It was a big movie, but it was a small group of people. I mean, 5, 6, 7 people. I mean, obviously Zanuck and Brown, Bill Gilmore, who was an executive, Steven, obviously, Vernon Fields, the editor, Bob Matty, who built the shark, myself, you know, and it became a very personal thing. I mean, we did a couple of shots in my backyard in Vernon's Pool after we wrapped. So as big as it was a very small group that was personally involved in it. So I didn't have any negative feelings. The studio had sort of a negative feeling towards us because we were over budget, over schedule, and they thought, my God, what did we do? You know, it's going to cost a lot of money. And then we had the first screening. And we had the people that were there on the set, the shark guys. The shark made funny noises. So if it didn't work right away, the crew would laugh. And so then when it did work, it looked okay. But it didn't have the sound effects. It had all the other bad sounds. And then it didn't have John Williams' music. So we didn't know what to expect, really. And then they showed it in Lakewood or Long Beach, and the audience didn't laugh. They just screamed. And then we thought, wow, I think we got a movie here that's going to work, you know. So it was elation after that, you know.
You mentioned Close Encounters. What was the biggest difference that you saw in Steven between Jaws and Close Encounters as a director?
Not much. I mean, I did some of his very first television, a Night Gallery, and I think 2 episodes of The Psychiatrist, and then his Sugarland Express. He was a thoughtful guy, pressing the envelope, you know. He wanted shots in Jaws that were required no boats, nothing out there, which was difficult. In Close Encounters, we built the biggest set ever built inside, and he used it. You know, I never had any problems with Steven. We had a good, close and working relationship. I guess he just grew. Years later, I think he became a different person in that he'd become an executive. He's got so many things happening. But he was always pretty well focused guy. I didn't see, it was just a growth thing, you know.
So did you take anything from the production of Jaws as a souvenir for yourself?
Well, I have all the original sketches, and you could see them online, joealvesmovieart.com.
Okay.
And I do sell some of those, but that's not a commercial thing. It's just sort of a hobby thing. I do have the wind vane thing on top of Quint's house, which is a shark made out of copper, and that's about it. I think some of these things have become worth a lot of money. You know.
What is your favorite moment from Jaws? Your favorite moment from Jaws?
Well, the favorite scene is not the shark at all. Is the drunk scene with the guys. I like that, and then I liked after that when we were doing the shark, we had a special shot that Steve and I designed, and so I had to build a special set of the shark coming into the cabin. I sort of liked that a lot. I thought that worked, you know.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, my pleasure.